I was neighbor.
You do this with us, dude.
I can.
All right, weeks ago, someone came and said, Char, you need rules. So I've been working on rules. You need rules for the group, and they were right. So I'm gonna read my rules for today. If you've noticed, every day since then, I've changed the rules every single time. And we're gonna change them today, so I've got more rules for you today. And then at the end, we'll go around and you can share if you would like to add a rule.
Or break it.
And the whole first part of class, you can identify theme today as it relates to imagination. I'll be very proud of you. Okay. This is done in the way of a blessing, healthy blessing. Okay. May you revel and reveal and revel. This is rule 1 for today. Rule 2, may you open your heart. May you stay on topic. May you know mindfulness somehow at some point today. May you giggle,
No,
no mindfulness. May you wiggle and giggle and wag, or just one of those. That would be good. May you feel safe. May you learn nothing and experience something. May you feel a sense of belonging. May we come together and welcome one another. May we be equitable in our sharing. May we hold this circle in confidence. May we allow sacred flow to guide us. And may we imagine greater things. What do you got to add to that? What do we got?
Enjoy each other's company.
Joy, yeah.
Did you have something about maybe that?
Oh, laugh. Yeah, enjoy and laugh.
Giggle. Yeah, giggle.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Okay. What was that? Ba-dum-bum?
That was something
Okay.
coming in over my phone.
Okay. Anybody got anything? Margaret, you got a rule for me today?
Say that again.
Do you have a rule for me today? You were a teacher. What kind of rules did you
Uh-oh.
have?
Uh-oh. How many of us were teachers? You were and I was.
Well, yeah, I know I was I wasn't a teacher, but I volunteered something.
Good.
Counts. That counts.
Counts.
You don't have to. You can add later.
To be as open as to be open.
Yeah. Linda, you got a rule for
I'll
me?
move my feet over here.
You know, I have to say, I was a little distracted by the music, so I'm like
I
here
was
and
looking, I
there.
couldn't see your foot because it
Deborah?
was hidden behind the tablecloth.
No, but I'm just interested in the double meaning of confidence. The whole thing's confidence. Where we come in confidence.
I
Lovely,
love that.
lovely.
And it's being recorded, so how confident.
I'm pretty confident that not many people.
Now that you're gonna watch this.
Not if they see me on the screen, they're not gonna wonder.
All
Well,
right.
you know, when I see myself on there, I'm like, "God, that's what I look like."
Who is that?
Did you have a rule? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless, do you have something about community on there that implies the
Belonging.
belonging?
Sense of belonging.
Belonging.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, well, if you think of, want to put it in. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of a meditation, but not a different kind of meditation. So, you just may want to sit up straight in the chair. All right, so your job right now is just keep these up in the air. This is the meditation. So keep that up in the air. Just keep them up in the air. You don't have to do it for very long, so don't feel worried. Just keeping it up in the
We
air.
already lost one.
Just up in the air.
It's like balloon volleyball. We used to do. I can't.
Oh,
I could
there. fix them all over there.
Okay, 30 more seconds. Give it your all.
Whoa.
30 seconds is a long time.
I know, 30 seconds. Let's go. Up in the air, up in the air.
Oh. Well, Linda, gonna end up
All right, now we're done.
Linda's got the window.
I'm gonna all
That's how we used to fight.
We used to do that when I was in assisted living as an exercise thing. Where we
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. No, it's a big exercise.
You do, battle between each other to get people so they could sit and still move around and stuff. Back when I was. in assisted living.
We may get to do that at church sometime, right?
Oh, it's fun.
So here's the thing. What did you need in order to do that?
Concentration,
Concentration.
eye-hand coordination, proprioceptive skills.
Definitely
You
proprioceptive
can
skills.
tell I had the little special education.
Yeah, yeah.
You had to have confidence that you didn't have to do the whole table.
Confidence and a sense that you didn't have to do it on your own. You couldn't do it on your own.
That's right.
That's why I do so many.
But also, if you missed it, it didn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like that. That is the new one, known as ever said that.
it was so much fun.
Well, and it
Makes you smile.
Yeah.
It went further if you touched it gently.
It went further, if what?
It went further if you touched it
Oh,
gently.
deeper
If you
lessons.
hit it hard, it didn't.
It's
it
fun.
Right, right, right.
resisted somehow.
Yeah.
The air resisted, I'm not sure what it was, but if you just tapped it, it went further. And for me, I was aware that I was just waiting for it to come to me. I didn't have to get in on anybody else's, although I did clobber at one point because we were both reaching the same way, but by and large, I could just wait.
So awareness of one another. Isn't it weird how just from playing games we learn so much? Like it's amazing. This is why we have game time Wednesdays here. You're all okay. So when I think about imagination, I have to think, what gets in our way? So there's some things we need in order to be in a state, in an imaginary state, or being able to imagine. You have to be curious. I don't think you can imagine if you're not a little curious. And maybe even open to awe or wonder. It even can be just small, like if you're an accountant or some kind of in the sciences, you still work with imagination. My brother's a scientist and he works a lot with imagination. But there's always that sense of curiosity and awe and the ability to be open. What else do you need to be in your imagination? And what gets in your way?
Distractions.
Distractions.
Keep me to be able to pre-associate. One thing that it reminds you of something else, and then something else, just letting your mind.
Yeah.
Lots of things.
Yeah, we call that dropping mind. in Some practices, Buddhism calls it dropping. Mind. Yeah, be open and able to drop your mind and the animal. What else?
I know I'm not as an imaginative as when I'm in pain. More pain.
Yeah,
The more pain I'm in, the less I have.
The less,
The less imagination I have. I just kind of,
That's the distraction.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
huge distraction.
It's a distraction.
Non-judgmental,
Yeah.
when your thoughts come, not going, oh, I shouldn't have that, or I should go here, I should. Just let it go.
Drop all preconceived notions.
For me, it's also comes when I'm in good company.
Hmm.
And often that good company are short people. Kids.
Oh.
You're included in the good company, but I just mean, That being with little kids, I've been thinking about the imagination and, my friend Jen was in charge of taking my grandson to school from the time he was in preschool. And they did not get in the car without her pretending that she was the pilot and he was the navigator. He was 3 or 4. Ready for takeoff? Until they had microphones. It was a kick to be in their presence when they did that.
Yeah.
But they would not start the car until they cleared it.
Yeah,
It was like,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but he's also the one that showed me banana slugs in the redwoods. I probably would have just walked past them. And he was 7. And he just saw one and went down on his haunches and said, "Bravo, what's that?" It's just,
Yeah.
being with little kids is just,
They're awesome.
it sparks it. And there aren't those inhibitions about, well, that it costs too much.
Or what will somebody think about me?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, their world is complete magic. Like my grandkids, you know, it's like I FaceTime with them and it's like they're jumping from pillow to pillow and like, okay, there's dragons down there or there's lava, you know, and it's like, and they make up all these different scenarios of things that are going on in their little lives. It's just, I mean, their world, their whole world is magic and possibilities and
How do you enter that state? And which might look different as an adult, but how do you enter that state? Either what is getting in your way of being in that state, or what are your things that get you there?
I tell you, I feel so fortunate that I connected with some people and we just create performances. Or we'll just get together and we'll do some improvisation. It's so, and this friend of mine, it's interesting, she reminds me of the very first friend I had growing up, who I think may have been autistic or Asperger's, but I just remember playing with this girl and it's like, we were so creative. And when I get together with my friend Kathy, it's like I'm 10 years old again. And we just enter this state. It's so adultly playful and very conscious of how do we play as adults? What can we do to play?
How are you?
Well, I mean, some of us chose that life, you know, so Belinda and I both had similar life experiences.
But this came to me later on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
I think in some ways, as adults, we no longer have the tools to do that. And by that, I mean, we have too many other stuff that defines life. So you don't have to imagine life. We have pots and pans, so you don't have to make a play kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And so we've lost the tools to imagine that kitchen because of the stuff we have.
yeah, I don't consider myself very imaginative most of the time. But,
So we were talking about, Joan, missed our warm up. I could do it again. Maybe we'll do it again. So we're looking at, you know, what helps your imagination, what ignites it, and what gets in the way of it.
I've been an abstract artist and I never followed any rules, none whatsoever. I would just get paints that I liked and big canvases and just start splashing paint on. And it was so wonderful to not have to follow anybody's rules, because that's all I had growing up. Rules. So it was the first time I think in my whole life that I totally free. It was wonderful.
How did you come upon it?
I saw a psychologist book of watercolors, and she was talking about how she just started getting into that. And then I took some classes from Josh Goldberg, who was a master at this kind of painting. And I just loved it. Just went all wild with it.
I'm impressed. That's cool.
I highly recommend it. Even if you don't ever think about being an artist, you don't have to be an artist. You have to be free. That's the only thing I can say. Now, there was a lot to it. If you want to make a painting, I sold a lot of paintings and they looked really good when I was done, but I had no idea what I was doing when I started out. So, it was just a lot of fun.
But so much about aesthetics
Yeah.
is just about feeling what is right on it.
Right.
There's, it's hard to teach the rules of aesthetics.
Right.
It does this purple go with this orange? Your heart has to feel, do they look good together or not?
Yeah.
You
You're
know?
the judge.
Yeah.
Did everything, see, my thing is always, if I start something, it's like, I always feel like it has to be perfect the first time you do it. And that's just not how life works.
Yeah.
I mean, I would start something like that and, sorry. Scan like.
Yeah, perfection gets in the way of imagination.
I feel like it has to be perfect. So I was wondering if every time you start something, did it come out looking what you
No.
wanted good? Or
I've
something?
painted over so many.
That's what I wanted. I had this feeling that every time you started something that came out,
Oh,
saying
no.
something you were able to say. Okay, thank you for that.
So there are a couple things that, so I started dancing in high school and then got a couple degrees in it. So I always had that level. So it was really hard. I had to go back to the kind of the beginning. And I realized for me, I like to have toys around me. I like to have these things. I've used them a lot in my work as a choreographer back in the day and still use them to inspire me.
This is
But-
very good too.
But one of the things, there are a couple of things that just in canvassing some of the most imaginative people in my life this week, since last week. There's a couple of things that I learned. Some people really get their stirred imagination through reading and writing. And so that's one of the things. We're not going to do much of that today. But the other thing is the number one thing, and this is from anywhere from philosophers to my mom, to my friend Virginia, who's an artist. The number one way to ignite and bring up your imaginary realm is through play. And you have to decide what that is for a kid or for you as an adult. But sometimes connecting to what you like to do as a kid can be helpful. So the first thing I want you to do, it may not stir this in you, it may stir this in you. That's what will happen. I like to do this in pairs, and you see these words. You can do a one sentence poem. You can do a haiku if you want, but you're going to do it in pairs. You have to work together with someone. So you can just do like, you guys can work together, and you and Judy can work together, you two, and then Margaret and Jim. So you got words, grab some words.
You got words.
And I can get more words. Yeah. Maybe that's all the words.
So
Sharon, I
put words in something so that.
Here's a purple one. This is more than words. Here's another.
So we
Better
make
now.
sense or something out of this.
With into life.
So instead of thinking this isn't like an assignment or anything, you think of it as you're playing with words.
Change anything you want.
By the way, it doesn't have to make sense.
You can add other words to it too.
Oh, I like
We-
it.
Yes.
Some more words.
I like it. So you have to keep that one.
Let's start out with time.
Oh, well, let's see what comes up.
Three blanks.
Glancing clear. Around.
So do they feel like they need more words?
Embrace those riches.
Lots of habits, do that for sure.
Watching and having.
There you go.
And realizing. Watching and realizing riches.
Sorry,
and embracing them. Can we interject our own words?
Yeah, I'm service between something and trees or something. Or we use-
Realize riches. Watching worship. Embrace. Embracing riches.
Whole bunch here. I
Next.
feel like we're cheating.
Here's yellow. We could do yellow. I'm gonna steal some more. Unless it's the thing.
Need more verbs.
Oh. Daddy's got all the riches. Doesn't that make sense?
I know. Yeah. It's not going to.
When you feel happy with what you've done, like, one thing artists do easy is to overwork things, so don't feel like you have to overwork it.
Don't want to overwork.
Don't overwork it, you feel happy with what you got. When you feel happy with what you got some things around you, you have some Play-Doh and you have these little things. And you just have to make like a little symbol or image or shape that you feel matches it. Matches it.
Time with torture.
Yeah, you can either use these little things, which I've never used before, or the Play-Doh.
Bus clear as it travels.
New Play-Doh.
I think we can. I used to make my own plans. And small.
Okay, I got it right there.
What?
Back in-
I know.
What?
More.
Oh, the work, you two are coming up with stuff.
They can
Tell
tell.
my work over there. Oh, this is-
Yeah. There you go.
Out of frustration. Love the smell.
When I called my mom, we both wake up very early, and I called her at like 5:30 this morning, and we have our coffee together often. And this is the one that's living, not the one that's dead. And I do the one that's dead before I go to bed, and with a drink or cocktail. So I'm talking about my mom Jill, who's been here at game time.
Yes, yes.
Judy knows her. Anyway, I was like, what opens your imagination? Now, you have to know about my mom is she is a painter and writer. She's written a few books, like she's a very creative person. And I thought she was gonna say something like, doing my journal pages but it's listening to music. She said, so that's why I have music playing in honor. But I do think that music does open up this is all when I was at the Boys and Girls Club, this is my no word classroom music. Pink Floyd.
Mm.
We're gonna share what we think. Okay, so do you have your shapes? Is everyone feel complete with what they're doing, or you need a few more minutes? So complete. All right.
I never get to an end.
No, I don't.
I always look at it and think, what could be that?
Well, let's just go around and share our poems and whatever the hell Melinda made. Okay. So, you guys want to share what your poem was?
Your wicked ugly shines your journey to fortune dreaming moonlight.
Yes, and they have this lovely Play-Doh moonlight
Oh, nice.
sculpture. It's called Moonlight #7. Okay,
Mooney for short.
Mooney for short.
Her wicked ugly shines your journey to fortune dreaming moonlight.
Who would like to go next?
Art says, time with its torture busts clear through as it travels. And then we have swear words.
That's so funny.
Swear words, that's funny. And both Margaret
You decide which swear word it is.
and your sculpture pieces.
Yeah, here you can pass that around so everyone can see our swear words.
Circle of love.
Circle of Love by Margaret and Jim.
Tower of Love.
Circle and Tower of Love. How many female? Okay.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yay.
But you know the Celts, they just bring it out.
Ooh, Lisa. Okay.
All right, Judy and Joan.
Ravenous dynamic dancing around quickly touches the salty water surface. All heart whispers, wise wild balance.
Wow.
That's
Pretty awesome.
That's a lot of
I
words.
just kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
need
had
to
more
give
words
you-
than the rest of us, huh? We didn't even use all of ours. so-
And your sculptural pieces are lovely.
Mm-hmm.
You have
Yeah, well.
titles for them?
Untitled.
Untitled, #7.
Something like touching the water. So it's kind
That's great.
That's cool.
Joan, you amaze me. Okay, awesome, you guys. That's really great. Thank you.
Wait.
You're the only one that so far that's done it vertically. Very imaginative.
All right.
Okay,
Lily,
go for it.
Cheryl, and Judy.
Okay, well. Realize riches before watching daddy make a fortune at the bank. So there's a joke in there somewhere.
And your beautiful sculptures.
I just keep moving it.
Okay.
It's vertical now.
Yeah, but it hasn't been.
Uh-huh.
Movement. Okay, and yours.
Mine's just, I play with color.
Yeah.
But,
What would you name it?
break dancing.
Breakdancing, I like it. All right, now I would like you to find another partner, a new partner. This is Pink Floyd Cluster 1, just instrumental. Okay, so you might have to get up and move, and you might have to move your things away. a
Jim
little
is
bit.
too, he's just really, he's like really into this.
I know.
He's an overachiever, that one.
No,
Yeah, think.
You and I can do it together. We don't have to know that.
All right.
Okay, Jim and I can do it. 'cause
Okay.
I usually do that.
It's you and me, honey.
Yes, it's us.
I mean, you can sit here.
No, I know, well, yes, that's.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
I was math major.
You might want to grab some pens.
You went beyond the box.
Free pens.
Oh, we're not doing words again? Oh, good for you. Three pens.
Three pens, three different colors.
They have things in the box.
So what do we do? We'll find out.
Great.
There's not.
All right. So you got it done in front of you. Okay, needing three different colors, maybe.
Those are good.
Those are great.
Okay. So you're basically gonna play making a Venn diagram. You all have done that in school.
A what?
A Venn diagram.
No, it's not. Don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Put things
that's
in.
overlapping shapes.
Okay, Yeah.
Overlapping shapes.
Oh, okay.
so, yeah,
And this is the part.
that
With the
overlaps.
comma,
yes.
That's both of them.
It's the shared part.
It's the shared part, and you're gonna do it using, you can, and this is just a short list, using the themes we've been studying in class, all right? You know what they are, right? Right?
Oh.
You're looking at me crazy, like sacred soul, the Anampara, the divine feminine.
All in the center then. I don't understand.
I don't need.
So for
So,
me.
so this is,
okay,
this is what you would do at the Venn diagram. You take two things, you put them like this. So this could be cat and tree,
Okay.
all right? And then you say, what are some things that are similar about it? Could be they're alive. What's something that's different? One's an animal, one's a plant. That's, so,
Okay,
Oh, because, and we use.
and then how do we use those?
yeah, you're gonna use it using the themes we've done in class. So for me, Jim and I had this discussion, I got so excited about it, because I'm weird. So let me find.
Well, he hired you, what's that?
I don't know. So for me, I could put something like sacred flow, sacred imagination, and inner authority, or some variation on that. Or I could do the divine feminine or the sacred feminine and inner authority and sacred flow. Because they have those things for me.
All right, if you have more of these,
Yeah,
let them do something simple first. I'm not
Okay.
quite getting this.
yeah.
So, no, they've already got one in front of them. So
Yeah.
do, just do what's similar between you and your partner, first of all.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so put, here's
Belinda's
Jim,
here.
put your name there.
Yeah, that's true.
Write it in.
In
the
Okay,
circle,
and so-
right? Just put your name in there.
And I can put man.
Okay.
And so the third color will be what's the same
Where'd you
about.
grow up?
We're both at St. Francis,
I was gonna put my book divine.
both
I
divine,
grew up in New Jersey.
very good. No, that's good.
So there's no connection.
Especially if you put it this way, St. Francis divine.
Okay,
Right,
I don't know where the divine came from.
Did you go to college?
that's all right, that works.
Okay,
So
so.
did I.
I'll
So
take-
name something else. It could be something simple as peas, like or not.
Oh, no. I guess that
No, but peas,
Oh, okay.
peas,
That's where you find.
like or not like.
Yeah.
So I like peas,
I hate fish.
then I'll put peas right here. and you
Really,
go-
some brothers.
Oh,
I have brothers.
okay. Chocolate.
Wait, don't put it there,
And
because maybe I like chocolate, and if you do, then you have to put it in the middle.
brothers go here.
Oh, I get
You
it.
got
That's
it?
what we share. But you have
Okay,
sister.
make sense?
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
and we just keep going on
Uh-huh.
that.
So flowers, I love flowers too. Let's put that in there.
We both dance.
Owls.
Owls, I never thought about whether I like them or not, but I do.
I lived in a place that had nesting great horned owls. So
Nice.
I have
I've never
owls
been
living in
married.
my-
So,
right outside
so put that
my
on your site. It's not that I hate owls, but you have a lot more
But I
experience
have
with
a
it.
really good, kind of sacred.
Yeah, absolutely. We have one at our house.
Bless you.
I mean, that we never see, but we hear. It's, you
Oh,
know,
I
little
s-
presents.
we saw it when
Yeah,
they
thanks.
fledge, they come down on the ground. and stuff.
Okay, so I go to Peru.
I've never been out of the country.
Okay,
except for Mexico.
so I'm gonna put that on my site.
Oh, that's
Uh,
fun. Places we've
So
traveled.
I do not have grandchildren. So I write that down.
Yeah, we put like, so that would be over here, but
The Cotswolds.
Teachers.
Yes, we're
No,
both
I
teachers.
haven't been across the Atlantic Ocean.
Uh,
So,
yeah, there you go, okay.
oh, you can put, oh,
What else? Do you
uh,
live in Midtown or do you live?
you cross the
I have
Atlantic.
5,000 movies.
Okay,
I
I like
don't get it.
Okay.
and maybe-
Okay, I live in Midtown.
Do you both like?
Have you gone
We
Times
both
Square?
like
love-
There we go.
Oh,
Love
I
it.
love
Both been to Mexico.
God, there's a lot of fun.
There's a lot.
So, yeah.
And that's often very
Both
true.
like trees.
Oh, I used to travel
both
to
like
Mexico
fruit.
a lot.
Yeah, we did.
You like music?
You go.
I do.
I do too.
Not the kind, not the jar juice, but
Well, yeah.
What are you
I
talking
do
about?
Nothing.
I think we're just- Nobody said your name.
The one, my go-to. Well, it's two things. One is-
Yeah, the color.
That was before my time. What did you
I
grow
like,
up with?
I like rich colors.
Oh.
If that makes sense. And purple can be a very rich color.
Yeah, I don't like pastels. I like the
Yeah.
vibrant.
Yeah.
Carrots.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. So let's put that in vibrant colors.
Yeah, vibrant colors.
Stuff like that.
We were just kids.
My go-to is.
Although lately,
Lettuce.
what I've been.
So that's good.
what I've been
Whatever.
looking at a lot is
Appreciate it.
contrast
I've never done
colors,
any
like,
kind of vegetable
I'm
garden.
really liking,
Never.
not just
When
the
I was
sunset,
Young, I
but
tried
the
growing.
light full, the dark of the light full, like front of the sunset.
And I
that type of
pulled them
thing.
up and they were like that
Say
big
that-
and I was
that-
like, oh,
that,
no, 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 no,
Like, the light full is a very dull color, right? It's not a vibrant color, but I'm really just captivated by that type of thing. The shape of front.
Same contrast and shape.
Yeah, so that's been fascinating.
I taught the contrast.
So you could put church and I would put,
So it's like we have that eye.
No church.
Look at, see my family. Picture it.
I love all the other kinds.
Yeah, yeah. So that,
Yeah.
that's an interesting thing that happened to me the last one. Not sure that I was aware of.
So that would be, I mean,
I love,
I play a little
we're
guitar.
living where Joyce does. It's up on the hill, and it's
Play piano as well.
so fantastic.
Play the
The mountains
organ.
are just Right there.
Which is nice even just in San Francisco.
I'm trying to
Which is
figure it out.
nice even
We're
in San
supposed to
Francisco.
land.
It's just enough that you see far, you guys up there must. see.
About one more minute.
I played our.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I never.
you look out, and I was telling
well,
somebody,
that
no,
does it. We both played
it's
the
like
organ.
this thing with the hair all the way to Aiden Champion now.
It doesn't have to be that we were good.
No, mine was weird.
Well, mine
I'm quite
actually.
impressed. Right.
But I played the piano.
I always.
But this was not a very.
One of the fire.
No.
Which that's.
But you like it.
Yeah.
They work hard.
Or later.
So they have that time.
Or girls' choice.
Yeah, yeah, sometimes you have to be those issues.
I'm very much a
So right, right on.
So let's go around and talk about your diagrams. And what you each had different, what you had in common. Who wants to?
Do you want me to read it all or just?
No, why not? They're
Okay.
not like long.
Yeah, so for Judy, the differences are our names, obviously. I have blue eyes, I'm retired, I like liver, I live in the southeast part of Tucson. Deborah, on the other hand, has brown eyes, she's employed. She dislikes liver, and she lives in the southwest part of town. The things we share in common are St. Francis, that we're both women, we love to read, we're mothers, grandmothers, spiritual people,
And I'm sorry.
What was the last
one?
and each own a cat.
Oh, I thought
Ah.
you ate a cat, okay.
No, I'd be in big trouble if I didn't. That's the Austin's cat. I know.
You might do not.
I would get murdered in my sleep.
I think you might. Thank you. Okay. Give us your Ben.
Excuse me.
I think we tried too hard. I really think we did. I think we were thinking,
We were thinking about, I think, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So this is what we came up with. I am from New Jersey. I'm unmarried and I've never crossed the Atlantic and I never went to church as a child. Now, Margaret, she's from Ohio. She has sisters. She was married for 66 years. And she has crossed the Atlantic and she has gone to church as a child. Now, this is what we've done together. We both played the organ. We've both been to Mexico. We both went to college. We both have brothers and we both dance.
Cool.
Nice.
That's nice.
Very nice.
It pays to try.
I don't know what you
Nothing
planned.
wrong with that.
Well, Joyce just had her. The Dean's.
Oh.
Oh,
She's been really sick the last couple of
Joyce,
days.
her
so
dog's
she
been
wasn't.
sick.
She tried to go through the no workups. We just stuck there halfway. Just couldn't move. Anyway, so I'm sorry, that's why I had to
okay.
write my text.
That's
'cause I knew
okay.
it was- Okay,
Do you want to say it?
okay. Jim and Judy.
Because from my
Let's
direction, it
start-
says you have grandchildren, you're afraid of heights, owls and women. That's what it looks like from my direction. Is that what it means?
Jim and Judy, but those books in grade school. you know,
Jim and Judy.
Okay. Things are different. Judy has grandchildren, Jim doesn't. I'm afraid of heights, he isn't. I'm a woman, he's a man. I love owls. He doesn't hate them, but he's not really trying. They're not as sacred to him as they are to me. He's been to Peru, I haven't. He likes peas, I don't.
Well, they're sacred to me.
Things that are common. We both love flowers, music, vibrant colors, St. Francis. We're both divine. We both read, we're both we're teachers. We both love chocolate and movies.
Nice.
That one, no.
Thank you. Hey.
All right, so, okay, so we talked about a lot of stuff. So what we have together is, we're both women, we're both teachers, we both have short hair, both seekers, researchers, questioners, nature lovers, readers, writers. And what is different about us is, we talk about the kind of music we like, and I like chanting music and other things too. And Cheryl likes classical music, classically trained vocalist. And I'm not. I can sing on key, but that's about where it is. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a city dweller. She lives out in the desert. And I'm.
Nice. All right. Do we want to try the original one, the
Yeah.
original assignment now?
Sure.
So we can stay with this way of doing it, which is you could take whatever predominant lesson from all of the things we've learned so far, and then what the commonality between those lessons are. There's a lot of commonalities, so does that make sense? I'm looking to the teachers, does that make sense? Margaret's looking at me with a scowl.
I don't quite get it, but
What are we
I
trying
don't
to
get it, but
Play.
play?
Jim must get it. So
Okay.
as long as one of us gets it.
Why is this complicated? It's like, well, it doesn't seem
Well, to
complicated.
me,
Because you're asking us to like understand what the hell is in your mind. That's
to me, you've
complicated.
got
the
compassion
word
and
that you wrote down.
divine feminine. I don't understand how you figure out where that fits in, like, how that would fit in here, you know?
What
It's
are the
like-
common things between compassion and the divine feminine?
Yeah, I think you're asking
Oh,
us to put a lot of thought into something that
Yes.
is like brand new material. to us.
Okay,
And so we're
I'm
like,
like, I don't.
okay. well,
But, okay, so you could pick out two of
You
those
tell us something,
things.
you tell us
And
something.
then we could
brainstorm
each,
together.
is that, try and figure out what.
I don't-
Or we could just skip it. I think.
Yeah, I don't know, I have no clue, and my partner who's got to do something. I do, so.
We could do just today's topic of imagination
Okay,
and what that means for me, what it means for Deborah. what we share.
you want to try that one?
Let's try it.
Sounds good. Okay. Pass that down to Jim and Judy.
and that's about what I need.
Yeah, I love it, I love it.
Right on the ground,
So the topic is imagination.
Imagination.
You're supposed to write.
And whatever.
Judy, what are the two different ones?
I don't know, you said Jim, so that's what I
Yeah.
wrote. I wrote your name
Oops.
over here.
What sparks my imagination
Oh, yeah.
and what
What's
sparks
spark?
Deborah's imagination and what we
Maybe
shared
we'll
this
figure
year.
out-
Sparks.
Yeah, maybe.
We're talking about sparks.
Maybe we make a little list, short list.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
and then see on that.
Did you
Okay.
hear
So we
that?
go back to.
Okay.
what I know.
So this
One of
whole
the reasons
thing
why I
is
watched-
So Joan said
the idea of
you-
imagination.
That's what I was gonna say.
This is your imagination. This is my imagination.
And then.
And this is where our imaginations meet.
Yeah, yeah. And it opens up
So
space.
what sparks
I
your
write my journal.
imagination?
I don't do journals, that's good. Write that down.
Kept journal since I was 12.
Yeah.
So what is imagination?
Imagine
Kids.
things that come.
Walking spurs my
Kids
imagination.
Okay, don't-
Does that you too?
Honestly, or the future imagining what you want.
Bingo.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so many things are even
My kid
reimagine
could go
the
to
house.
gift for friends.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's very
Right.
helpful.
I mean,
Oh,
that.
did you?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
had to figure
Yeah.
that's one
Yeah.
way, and
Yeah.
I used to keep
Um,
bottles
Oh, in
on
your head.
my patio in my
Yeah.
apartment, so I can give them out to all the kids.
Absolutely, write that down.
You could
Okay, all right, all right.
almost, Joan, you almost insert the word creative.
Wow.
And when I was
So
getting my
like,
master's,
creativity.
one of the classes I took,
Creativity and
You
imagination.
know, it used to be looking for that
play,
chicky or.
That's-
and it's how to use
I
play
actually,
curriculum. It's
I
really
still
challenging,
have
especially
better-
when I-
Why don't you
Look
laying
at
down,
this
like one
website that I
laying
pulled
down.
up. It's called Creative Spirit.
I remember the
And,
same place.
It's really,
Yeah,
maybe it's
yeah.
hard to, that's a big, that's a big
Hotel with
website.
that
Let me
watch
just explain.
cloud.
It's about using play to help kids figure out how to live together. Right? And it takes it away from winners and losers.
That's what, we did that when I was teaching. We had a group come in that taught me, all the teachers, I was at Miles Exploratory, how to play in a way that's not competitive, but you have to cooperate for to win.
Could have been Charlie and Spencer. Are two
This was,
leaders of this.
yeah, this was back in the 90s, early,
I
late
know,
90s.
that's-
This was a long time.
That's when they were doing much of this. I learned about it in 93, 94, something like that. But they're from here in Tucson.
Yeah.
But it's not. One of them, Spencer, I think was, that's St. Francis playing on
I
that.
think this is one of the games we played.
Yeah, yeah, so it could have been the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that is so
That
good.
kid, yeah.
One of the things
Uh-huh.
that I did my presentation on was bubble.
Is that time?
But I was
That's
able to like
interesting,
fill
yeah,
it.
different kind of
You fill a swim,
imagination.
one of those portable swimming pools,
So,
plastic
being
swimming
creative.
pools, water, and you put dog detergent in it, so
yeah, I'm with
it'll
you.
make a bubble, you get a hula hoop, you put it in there, you put a kid in a wheelchair in the middle, and you can pull the hoop up and encase that kid in the bubble. But any other
Yeah.
And so it's like, and if they put, also we would learn that if you put your hands in bubbles, in the bubble stuff, you just have your hand in there without popping the bubble. It doesn't pop. So all this stuff we did with all the different ways you can use bubbles
Yeah.
to teach kids all kinds of like concepts and stuff and include everybody.
Which is one of the things.
That's part of it.
Well, I'm thinking about words.
Ability to have spaces, because sometimes you don't get a chance to
Create.
use a silly
Letters
book.
actually create words.
Right.
So it's kind of a limited, so yes,
Some
Scrabble.
adults don't like the silly book, but it doesn't spark curiosity. Some
Not really
kids,
that.
you know?
I looked at like.
Yeah.
a kid, you know,
You
kind of
get around the
something,
place. I spend.
but you know, we have these huge like. And you did get in there. and I
Or I
was
feel like I have to be, I feel like I have to do this first.
I really can't tell what this was like. Whatever this tree was, just for that stuff, you know,
That's
and
one
just
of the
Yeah.
Ah.
I don't have
I
to do
felt like
anything
rather
I was able to get
Yeah.
inside
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
and reach them in ways. It's
Well,
like
if
I
you
felt
spend
like
some
the
time
smartest
with
thing I ever
them,
did.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, I just knew,
I find
I
that
was the
when
wrong
they
choice.
drive through
I was
town,
a-
I've never been through.
So,
that.
we're not doing it. But it's neat to talk about different ways
Like
that
I
you.
imagine myself living in that.
At least one of the ways that I
Feel like
use
I had this whole
imagination.
like
Yeah.
life
I'll start
from when
out
I entered and then,
Sometimes-
yeah.
Some
Yeah.
messages in church have been telling me
Becomes a
answers.
metaphor.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And I
what's
try to
driving
do
me.
things that
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
The shadow of the tree.
As I,
questions about.
and I didn't know I
About one more minute.
And that's what I,
Right.
And
Oh,
I
you
think
know,
that's,
I like that.
that's where
I like that.
imagination is. Some of my life.
When I'm doing writing, I kind of separate, kind of in a journal way, sort of poetry way. But I'll have a thought and I just think, okay, focus, start writing.
books are also.
Not
it's
getting
like-
lost.
Right. Work with it again.
And for these podcasts.
Well,
There's
you're
a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like usually when I'm writing.
I listen
I don't
to
sit
them.
next to it.
Oh, I
On the
think, well, I
past.
look, I put on podcasts when I'm
So
looking
it's
at
like
this
I
watch,
just
or when I'm eating lunch sometime or something, so I just.
Just-
I crochet, in the winter, I crochet.
Yeah, it's like what you were talking about.
You know, like when you want donations.
Just for the sake of time, let's come back together. And these are very interesting conversations. I was getting bits and pieces. Everyone is so cool. So what do we got? Let's just focus on what you have in the comments first. Do that one. Let's go first. What
We had
comments-
more of a good conversation than a good, we didn't write much.
Okay. All right. Well,
Because I have nothing on my side. Not, no, I don't have things, we just talked a lot.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Things in common are movies, music, kids, and books. And for me, journaling, bubbles, and podcasts. And I was telling how when I was getting my master's degree that I took a class called Play. And it's how you use play in early childhood curriculums to develop children in what, all kinds of ways. And my thing was, my presentation was bubbles. And one of the things we did was take a swimming pool, a portable swimming pool, fill it with water, put Dawn detergent in there, and there's a certain formula. and a hula hoop.
Mm.
And you can put a child in a wheelchair or a child in any kind, and then you raise the hula hoop up, and you encase that child in a bubble, and they love that.
Oh, no.
And then if
Huh?
and you teach them where if your hand is wet with the bubble solution, you can touch the bubble and it won't pop. It'll go right through and not pop. So it's like, it took me back to a whole time where teaching really young kids is so tactile. You know, it's just so cool. It's funny. That's my, sorry, that's not in here, but it's something that meant a lot to me.
It's in the realm. It's in the realm. You want to share?
Oh, no, she shared it well.
Yeah, we talked a lot too. So. The middle bit though, overlapping thing is that we both write poetry. She had a couple books out. Kind of in a way that when you start the poem, you don't know where exactly it's going to go.
Yeah. That's true of a lot of art lessons. You don't know where it's gonna go. Sometimes when you're facilitating a group, you don't know where it's gonna go.
Give up expectations.
I
That's what
know.
you do.
Good thing I'm a collaborator.
Amen.
That was good. That was fun. Okay, what do you guys got?
The things we had in common were music, that's practice, music, nature, children's books, really like children's books, magic and poetry. But I do not create it, I read it. I read somebody else's creation. Awesome. Yeah.
Do you want to read?
Yeah, what sparks our imagination was walking. Envisioning clouds on a cloudy day. And
Music,
music and
being scared.
Interesting.
We got a little dark. We had moments of darkness. And that sparked our imagination too.
Well, you
That's
know,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Margaret's only that far from being God.
Yeah, I could tell that.
you can do where we were different.
Oh, did we want to do that?
Why
Where we're
not?
Different, okay. I remember when I would drive, when I would be driving, when I'd be a passenger in a car going through a new town, I would have had a whole life from when I entered the town to when I left the town. I'd have like this whole life that I
You
would
just tell the whole story
imagine.
yourself. essentially.
It was just in my head, I would just
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
imagine.
When I drive through a new town, I would focus on not getting lost.
They do.
Yeah, exactly. There you
Steph
go.
and I do that sometimes, sitting like, we did it a lot at San Diego, sitting, watching people, we would pick out someone. And then just between the two of us sit there and create a whole life and story.
Yes, I love
Then we
doing
had
that.
this one woman, she was a Jewish diamond person and she was waiting, I mean, it was just went on and on and on. So I guess I never thought of it like that though, being sparked in the imagination.
A friend of mine used to do that in restaurants. You see that? They've been married about.
My husband.
And now they're, discussing. So it was like, okay, whatever you say.
Isn't that a song by Simon and Garfunkel too?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
What song?
People who.
Where they're talking about all the people around them, making up stories about who they are and how they act. Right? What's that song? Yeah.
I like, I always get about through halfway what I put down. This was really fun for me. I actually have done very little teaching children, believe it or not. I've mostly taught adult women. That's been who I worked with in the past. Yeah, grab some bubbles. I think everyone gets bubbles. So my husband who cannot sing worth, I mean, like the worst. And I used to sing in choirs. I even sang in a Bulgarian. Sorry for what. Anyway, so when we're home and we sing in musicals, we talk to each other in musicals.
Okay.
I just thought I was.
And I wish we had more time, but we should probably
Ooh, look at those colors.
I feel like Lawrence Welk.
make sure there's little buttons, little
Tells your age
these
when you
things
know Lawrence
on
well.
the table. Can you pick that up, Joan, and show it? Take a soul button. For yourself. Don't you have a soul button? That's really cool.
Oh, I love that.
There- Things show up in my office.
Good.
Thank you for playing with me today. I hope,
Anytime.
I think it sparked your imagination. These are labyrinths. So there are just these little brain tools
Legos too.
that, by the way,
It's
in
fun to do things like
to
this.
help the brain and creativity, reading. Is one, reading is a good idea. More breathing exercises. Labyrinths, are you talking to me? Labyrinths are good to spark creativity and joy, which we didn't have time for, but I'll bring the cards next time. So we can play with those.
And you know what? I've never gotten into, I don't understand the whole labyrinth thing.
The labyrinth thing?
It doesn't do
Oh
a
my
thing for me.
Oh, see, that's when I am like.
It just, I can't, I don't meditate in a labyrinth. I just sit there going, this is stupid.
Right, yeah.
I just rushed,
That's all
I just
do.
rushed to the end. I don't do well going slow.
Not at the moment.
Here you
Not at the
go.
moment, That's right.
No, not at the moment. Not one step, yeah, like, middle, like, heck out of there.
Oh, yes, hilarious.
No
Well,
crossing lines.
I-
Made it. I'm done.
I've always loved it that some people get so much out of labyrinths. And some of us just, they're like,
Well, when it comes to the end, I can't remember when I had labyrinths in our, because it's a huge spiritual tool, and the Celts did
it
have
works
that.
for some people.
You can watch, you can be our observer, our labyrinth observer. Because here's the thing for me that's so weird. I don't actually like walking them. I'm looking at them, like the visual of them is very meditative.
And do you like to do the fingerlets?
I
Like
do, well,
these?
this is why we have so many, and we have a bunch in the classroom too, but on Sunday, we had 4 boys that were bouncing off the wall. And I can't remember what we did in the beginning. Remember what we did?
Decorating bags.
We decorated bags for like a half an hour, and then they were just like.
That
So
was it.
I gave them like 2 different ways of doing the labyrinth, and they were hilarious. and so
But
cute.
they suggested the labyrinth.
They did, they said, they said, can we go outside? I said, yeah, what do you want to do? And then Gavin was like, let's go do the labyrinth. And I'm like, okay, have you ever done it before? He said, no, I'm pretty sure. But they're great. I said, do it as fast as you can.
They
Yeah.
read.
They ran the labyrinth.
Here's the thing, no matter
Or
how.
do it as slow as you can.
Did we do that one? Did we do fast and slow?
We didn't do so,
No.
but we did
Pick up,
repair it as you go.
yeah, pick up the damn rocks you moved down. Okay, so it
Oh, they were
was,
already moved before they.
they were.
Our preschool kids love the labyrinth.
Mhm.
And they love to move the rocks of the labyrinth.
Yeah.
Well, and
They're handy.
if you do it with the guys, the boys, they will show you where the geocaching rock is.
Yes, they do.
But, but,
One day we were looking out the window and there was somebody like sticking around the edge. What's that guy doing out there? And then we realized what was happening.
what, oh, here's the cool thing about labyrinths. Like, you can do it mindfully and with intention, sure. But even if you do it quickly without intention, it still helps your brain. Because it's helping this part of the brain. It helps the brain do that. It's good. That's a good thing. So,
Never a straight catch.
never, no.
I take straight paths through the labyrinth all the time. Feel guilty.
Feel guilty.
It's a good shortcut, between, the old center and the new center.
You take the labyrinth?
Do you feel like you're
Oh,
trespassing?
I cut across it.
Guilty.
And I feel guilty every time, but I
We're
still
gonna have a
do
little conversation about that.
And I'll do it again.
Yeah, I know. I wonder about the.
it. It is the straightest path between the two buildings, come on.
But I don't feel guilty when I do it. You look at your red. That is so cute, you're blushing. I don't think I've ever seen you blush.
Because I've never confessed so much in front of you.
It's all this female energy. You beg it.
So, as you're going through the week, I am curious on how you are incorporating my failed lesson, which was, so, when I had a yoga teacher, it was awesome. I am not a good
It's
beginning
like
teacher.
conversation and stuff.
I feel great about it.
Always
I feel good. Anyway, she was a Zen Buddhist, and she said, sometimes I am the teacher and you're a student, sometimes you're the student and I'm the teacher. And that's so true, and you know that, it's so true for all of those. We're like a group full of teachers. I'm curious though, you can email me, you can call me, you can text me. I want to know how you're incorporating the sacred soul, Anamkara, sacred feminine,
Can you
thresholding.
send us those?
Yes, it's also the book.
Did you get, when, the first week, I gave you a copy of
Yes.
the table of contents?
Yes, yes.
Look at that.
Okay.
That has them all on
Yeah,
it.
basically
That
this.
doesn't have Anamkara on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. So I'm just curious, like how that's, and if it might not be consciously, you might not be consciously working on those things, but these are things, and I realized it was good. Like I have been studying and practicing Celtic spirituality for 20 years. So this is some, especially thresholding, it's been like, it's sacred feminine and then Anamkara and a little bit of sacral. Anyway, so I'm just curious how it's coming together in your life, if it is or isn't, and that just always fascinates me. All right, let's do the final blessing and then let's just touch each other. Touch is another way of sparking imagination. Isn't that funny? You know why? Because of the oxytocin thing. Well, I'll tell you later. May your dreams be generous and your imagination take you to wondrous places. May you create sacred places and connections wherever you go. May you live in the sacred flow and bless the thin places in your life, and may you know joy. Thank you for being so willing to go on this journey today.
Anybody else need the
I
table of
find it all
contents?
fascinating.
You guys
Because that'll
are-
show you some of the things.
You guys are amazing group. Jim and I were talking about it. This group feels really-
Fascinating group.
Yeah, fascinating. Fascinating.
And we mean that in all the, we mean that in all the wonderful ways.
We met it in a-
Yeah, that's like right up there with my word interesting,
Yeah,
which
right,
takes
right.
on many,
Oh, yeah.
many.
I think what I'm witnessing though is just the level of connections that are happening, and that's what we. That doesn't always happen. That doesn't always happen.
And this is a class.